Hello, this is Matt from tracyandmatt.co.uk, and here I am looking at the new Samsung Galaxy Note, the 10.1 version that was actually launched just recently. I'll do a quick unboxing video for you just now. So inside the box, right on top, have the Note itself, which I'm going to just pop out, and I'm going to pop that to one side for just a second while we have a look what else is in the box. So underneath we then have the quick start guide, which covers the basics. It's pretty lightweight reading there. The warranty card, then rubber bits for the headphones, or in fact it's a wired headset. I'm going to take a quick look at. Here we go. So wired headset, 4-pole 3.5mm jack on one side, inline microphone with a couple of push buttons there. We've got a single push button and an up and down volume control, presumably. Little hole on the back is actually the microphone. And then the headphones on the other end, the sort of in-ear style, which we get the different earbuds for. We have something that's pretty much unrecognisable right now. I think this is actually different tips for pens and so on. Then have the charger block module, which anybody that's in the iPad charging block kind of looks fairly familiar. Similar size and design there in two parts. That's the charger with the USB socket on there, and then we have sync charge cable, which has a feature connector on one end, again looking very much like the cable we see on the iPhone, iPad, and then USB connector on the other end. Nothing else in the box, that's all we get. There's no lofty manual or anything like that for us to take a look at. So back to the tab itself. Obviously we have that 10.1 inch display, 1280 by 800 pixels. It's pretty high res, decent. Not obviously as high as say the new iPad, but still decent resolution. On the front we have forward facing camera, 1.3 megapixel forward facing camera. Multi-touch capacitive touchscreen on the front. Just peel that off out of the way. We have stereo speakers, so on either side we have speakers for stereo playback, which is pretty cool. On the top we have the power button. There's an up and down volume control rocker. There is a cover over a micro SD memory card slot, supporting up to 64 gig memory cards there. Then also slightly perhaps more unusual is the infrared infrared receiver there, so that you can actually use a infrared remote control, which I guess is an optional extra, but allows you to control this. Particularly good if you're using it for a video playback device, so you can actually control it remotely. There is the headphone socket, which is the 3.5mm headphone socket for using indeed your own headphones or the supplied headset. Looking around the outside, nothing on this side. The bottom we have microphone hole, and then that feature connector for sync and charge. There is space kind of just here, which is the pen. Come back to in just a second, but that has its own home. Continuing round, nothing else on the sides. On the back we have a 5 megapixel autofocus camera with an LED flash, which is pretty decent to have a flash on tablet. Not too many have them, so that's kind of cool. But whether or not you want to use this for video or taking many photos is debatable with its large size, but nevertheless it can be done. Putting that back out of the way, we have the pen. So we have the tip of the stylus tip there, which obviously is designed so it doesn't scratch the screen, with a push button actually in it as well, so that we can actually, that picks up the fact that you press the button for different sort of mouse-like features. But it's fairly lightweight, fairly small, and obviously has a home in the bottom of the unit itself. Now let's see if we can just power on. There we go, and while that powers up, let me run down the specification for you. This is the Wi-Fi version, but there are GSM versions available that are quad band and quad band GSM and quad band HSDPA, which is pretty cool. In terms of size, dimensions are 282mm in width and 180 pixels in height. I was looking at this way around. height and 9mm thick. That's really quite thin, or just under 9mm, actually it's 8.9mm thick, so that's pretty cool. Weight is 600 grams, which doesn't feel too heavy actually. Holding it in one hand is reasonably comfortable. I think if you're holding it up in the air, certainly if you were going to use it for video, it's going to kind of feel a bit weighty after a while. As I mentioned, the 1280 by 800 pixel display, multi-touch capacitive touchscreen there with Samsung's TouchWiz user interface, that's there as well. This is the 16 gig version, but there are 32 and 64 gig models available as well. So you obviously have better, larger internal capacity. All of them have 2 gig of RAM and 1.4 gigahertz quad-core processor with Mali GPU as well. So that's pretty cool. Android OS 4.0.3 Ice Cream Sandwich pre-installed, and we have accelerometers, gyros, all that kind of stuff. GPS, Wi-Fi supporting 802.11bg and N standards, Wi-Fi Direct, dual band Wi-Fi, and hotspot support. The 5 megapixel autofocus camera on the back will do 720p video recording at 30 frames a second, and because of the GPS, that does support geotagging. The final thing, quad band, it's actually a Bluetooth 4.0 with A2DP support. I think that covers the basics. That's quite a lot of talking, so we're going to take a look now. So we have to go through the setup. So first of all, we have setup screen, so it's English United Kingdom. We're going to go and join a Wi-Fi network, which we're going to do now. We have, as you can see, a large keyboard, which really is nice and generous, so we're just going to use that to type in the passkey. One nice thing about that keyboard actually, in comparison to say the iPad, because obviously it's fairly obvious to make that sort of comparison, is that it does have the numeric keys along the top row without having to shift between, like a functional shift, to actually get to the numeric keys along the top. So that's quite nice for anybody that's using the keypad a lot. You don't have to shift between them. Okay, so we're connected to our Wi-Fi network, and I'm just going to skip through the date time setup. I'm going to skip setting up my Samsung account. I do have one, but I'm not going to bother. I'm going to sign into my Gmail or Google account. I do not. There we go. Right, so I'm going to go and do that now. So we're going to sign in. That saves us doing it again in a moment or two. There we go. As you can see, the display is extremely glossy, which I know a lot of displays are. I prefer glossy screens, but I know some people prefer sort of like the less glossy displays that you can get screen protectors that lay over that give you a slightly less glossy thingy. We're going to skip the Dropbox stuff for now, because you have a Dropbox account available with this. Right, so this takes us to the home screen, say with the TouchWiz interface. So we've got the date and time over the corner here with the weather, Video Hub, Game Hub and Music Hub. Down the bottom we have S Note, S Planner and Touch. That's all to do with taking notes and using the pen. Smart Remote, Maps, Internet, Samsung Apps and the Play Store. Pushing buttons down the bottom actually get up the alarm, calculator, mail, music player, S Note, S Play player, planner, and the task manager, and we can edit those so that we can put other stuff in there. We have a back, home, menu, which has got task manager, so we can see all the running applications. Hit back home, and then we have the ability to copy to clipboard. That's taking a screenshot. That's kind of cool. Up in the corner we have the launcher, so we can see all of the applications are installed. Anybody that's in any Galaxy device really, I guess, but certainly the S3 will recognise an awful lot of these icons. All share music hubs, all that kind of stuff from Galaxy devices. This is no different, so we've got quite a lot of stuff here pre-installed, and we've got 2 pages just of stuff there. We've got Crayon Physics over there as a little game to play. Taking a look at some of the features then, what we'll take a look at first is the internet. Take a look at the browser. I'm going to head over to our site. And we can go to .co.uk. Go. So using Wi-Fi and broadband, so the load speed's pretty quick, but that said, rendering was really very fast. The pages laid out. Having a 1280 by 800 display means that web browsing is entirely, a pleasurable experience rather than just something that you have to do. Well, obviously that's why you'd want a tab, but that works quite well. So we can zoom in and out with double touch and 2-finger support there. Looking through, see whether or not I try the pen out to click between the items. Yeah, we can. So the pen will actually act as a stylus if you want to use things through there, which is kind of cool, especially when you've got small things on the screen and perhaps when you want to edit these sorts of things. I don't know what the pen does. Oh, there we go. Brings up the. I don't know if you want on the screen. That's kind of cool. And, there we go. Anyway, digress. Come back out of there. Go back home. So there we go. Let's take a look what else we've got on here. So that was the browser. It works pretty fast and renders really quickly. Nice display as well. Obviously means that it's quite useful and meaningful. Pop into the Play Store. And we're going to go search for, you probably guessed it by now, Quadrant. We'll do a little benchmark to see how we perform. That's downloading. It has installed, so let's go and open that now and run a full benchmark, which it wants to do that way around. So let's run that through. Running through the memory test, CPU test rather, right now. Seems to be going really quite quickly. No, it is intent running in the portrait orientation, so let's let that do that. 2D graphics, right, here we go. So we're running at 60 frames a second there. 60 frames fairly consistently through there. That's kind of cool. Not dropping at all below 60. We've got 45 to, 60 frames a second through the planets there. And finally our DNA string thing. 60 frames a second, so it's pretty fast. It's run through the tests pretty quickly as well. So let's see those benchmark results. And there we go, our device right at the top, 5,272. That's a pretty reasonable score actually. Well, in fact, it's a really, obviously, good score comparing to the other devices that we've got on here. But the Galaxy S3 that I've got has been benchmarking a bit faster. I know that quite a few people have said that the HTC One X with the latest 4.0.4 version of Ice Cream Sandwich runs at around 5,600 to 6,000 on the score there. But as you can see, there's your comparison. The blue bit represents the CPU performance, so it's certainly none too shabby anyway. It's running along quite quickly, so that's pretty cool. Let's come back out there. And we go back home and take a look at some of the other stuff we've got. Obviously the display has just changed its brightness. I guess that's in settings that we can change that. It's set to auto. I'll set it to manual. Wow, that really is an exceptionally bright display there. It's giving us a bit of flicker with the backlight control there, but that's a very, very bright display. The display is actually really, it really is quite good. It's a PLS TFT display. It is nice and bright. I know that Samsung have sort of fallen into two camps in terms of popularity. A lot of people like the high contrast displays that Samsung devices typically have in terms of the way they've balanced the contrast and saturation. Other people feel that maybe the colours and saturation is a bit too much, but I think that display is actually quite good. Quite a fan of that. We've got Google Maps here. So as a navigation device, this would be quite cool. Although obviously with only Wi-Fi, might not be perfect. So there we go. That's loaded pretty quickly. Nice display. That's working quite well. It's actually Google Maps. Picked up our location. I guess that's probably using Wi-Fi. Well, it will be using Wi-Fi to pick that up, I would think, because I'm indoors. So what else have we got in terms of stuff on the hub? We've got the S-Suggest. We've got a blank display. Came back all the way around the other way. Quadrant that we've installed is just there. We've got a learning hut, email, camera, gallery, Dropbox and YouTube. Let's take a look at YouTube. So that's a nice interface for YouTube. That's kind of cool on the tablet. So we're going to go and search for my YouTube channel. There we go. Yeah, that's quite a nice interface on the tablet. There. Let's just take a look at one of these. Take a little while to buffer. No sound. TracyMac.co.uk. Here I am with the Samsung Galaxy W for Wonder. There we go. So that's I'm going to obviously do full screen as well. And we're going to have a there we go, unboxing within an unboxing video. So yep, YouTube client's really quite cool. In terms of other stuff that's on here, I think it's really kind of straightforward in terms of pre-installed applications. We've got the Game Hub, Music Hub, navigation on My Files. We've got the movie, which is movie player, which is the Google Movies thing. Various widgets that we can actually add to the home screen, which all look kind of standard in terms of the stuff that Samsung offer. Yep, so there we go, apps and widgets. We have our email. Obviously we can set up a new account. I haven't set up an account as yet. There we go. Google Plus, Messenger and all that kind of stuff. So that's a really quick look at the Samsung Galaxy Note 10.1. We'll have a review for you over the next couple of weeks probably. We're going to actually really use this. To be honest with you, typically I use my new iPad quite extensively, so I will try this out to see how it sort of does compare. And I'll be back with that review shortly. In the meantime, if you want to follow us on Twitter, it's twitter.com/TracyandMatt or facebook.com/TracyandMatt.co.uk. If you want to ask any questions about this or any other things that we're looking at or reviewing, any requests or questions, please just drop us a line. I'll be back soon with some more videos and reviews on TracyandMatt.co.uk. But for now, thanks for watching.